My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, a great South Lake morning. Weather is amazing. It was so hot and humid last night. To quote Robin Williams, it's hot, it's damn hot, which is good if you're with a woman, but not if you're in Florida. It was bad last night. I'm sure Jay, you sweated your tail off, I know, at the function last night, didn't you?
Oh, I don't have my mic on. There we go. Yes, I was at the Lake Catherine Blueberry Farm last night for the bunny review.
Yes,
Your Sweetie too. Did you get a chance to
I have
catch
watched.
it?
I did not get a chance to go, but I got a chance to watch it because you covered it on the show. You live streamed it. Another service we provide for free to the community.
Semi-free.
Semi-free.
No, it was a great event. And
affordably. How about
affordably, that? Yeah. It was a great event. They raised some money. When I checked, what was really great, I talked to a friend of the network, Renee Lowe, this morning about, of course, the Bunny Review was a fundraiser for Bras for the Cause, which is at the end of the month at the Claremont Performing Arts Center. And I did check the PayPal link for Karen Rose because it is a fundraiser for her prior to the event. And let's just say it's increased drastically since our live stream last night. So exponentially, yes. I think we're close to like 700 people that actually watched it live. So it was a good event, a lot of fun.
You know, one of the real values of live streaming, look, and we have the community calendar. Send us your information. I'm always telling this to people. You know, you send us your info. We'll put up your event. I'll bring you on the show. You can talk about the event. And there are opportunities to live stream. And, you know, the benefit to that is your live stream is going out. We replay these things. You know, 700 people were never showing up at Lake Catherine. That means that 700 people watched the show or watched the Bunny Review that couldn't come and had an opportunity to attend. All right, I'm going to get off that because we got a good show today. I don't want to go over time. Today, we're going to talk about employee appreciation. It's National Employee Appreciation Day. We're going to talk today about the law of See, I keep leaning in. I'm getting this whole radio thing on Jay. I can know his ears are ringing, so I'll try to keep it easy. The law of unintended blessings. Stay tuned for that. On Cup of Joe, we're going to continue our reflection story today. We're actually going to wrap it up about the real purpose of reflection and what you should do to get the most effect out of it. And finally, we are joined today by Wendy Breeden. You may remember we had Kirby Smith on Tuesday, candidate for, this is Wendy's page. Wendy is the incumbent and running for to be reelected to her seat as the District 3 Lake County Commissioner. So she's an absolute sweetheart. We're going to hear from her. Really excited to this starts the election season for us. And we're going to try to bring you not just the incumbents and elected officials, but people running. We will give a platform to anybody that's on the ticket. Reach out to us and let me know. With that said, we are going to go to commercial break. When we get back, we'll get started. We'll see you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Just had a great moment with Jay in the break. He was telling me, we were joking about cussing. He said he cussed at everything these days. I think that's the exposure to Joe. Joe can drop an F-bomb without even thinking about it.
Oh, Joe. How little you know, Joe.
It's a jarhead in me, man. I learned how to cuss young, and I just never gave it up. I heard somebody say the other day that Samuel Jackson can swear like nobody else, and I'm thinking, Little Miss Celebrity, you ain't never met me. All right. Employee appreciation. Look, National Employee Appreciation Day. I love days like this that are recognized as a national day. Look, we've all been that guy that's working really hard, feels like we're doing a lot for the business. We show up early, we stay late, we never even get a thank you, barely get and many times we're not paid near what we're worth. So employee appreciation is your day. If you're a boss or you have somebody that works under you, you don't have to be the boss. Maybe you supervise a team. Let the employees in your life know that you appreciate them. You will get blessings you cannot anticipate. Which brings me to the law of unintended blessing. Look, we've all heard about the law of unintended consequences. This usually means, and you can describe government actions as this a lot, they will do something to correct a problem. I will use the example of the bailout under the Obama administration when the economy tanked. Their intended consequence was to lift up the economy. What they really did was extended the recession, okay? They did not let the market, so there were unintended consequences, right? Cash for clunkers. They got rid of all the clunkers and they got people buying cars, but what they did was, because they crushed all those cars, they caused a extreme hike in used auto parts. You couldn't repair your car cheaply anymore, which didn't help the economy. Law of unintended consequences. The law of unintended blessings is similar. I was at a chamber function this morning, and I was talking to some people, Pam Helton of the Helton Law Firm, and we were talking about some of the things you do when you get in a real rough spot. You know, I started this project with Jay. He gave me the opportunity. I jumped on it, right? My intent when I first started was to build my business, was to get a little more recognition in the area. I'd been doing things through the chamber, but I wanted to widen that recognition. We got 100 shows yet, Jay? Are we drawing up on close?
Yeah, I have to finagle our pre-recorded things and figure out how that.
Okay, well, so I want to figure this out because I'd like to celebrate that day, you know. But here's the thing. I've had a realization that what I thought was going to happen in 3 or 4 months, I was wrong. You know, I had not really examined a lot of this and how long it might take to have this have an influence on my real estate business. Excuse me. But the law of unintended blessing has been, I have become a real champion for the community. Like, not just a champion that gets paid to do it, not just a champion that does it. I mean, a real, deep down in my bones, I love my community of South Lake. And I have a real passion now and drive to change us from the invisible community to the shining example of Central Florida and what it can be. I have been blessed so much by the interviews and the guests we have that I have gotten far more into my spirit and my attitude. I never leave here depressed. Some days I come that way. Some days I come with a bad perspective, but I never leave that way. And that's the law of unintended blessings. Look, if you enter into something and you are giving and giving and giving, God's universal law says that you will reap if you sow. Now, sometimes you get to reap things you didn't sow. All right. And those things are usually good. So I don't want to beat this up because we are on a time crunch, but that's the law of unintended blessings, which leads me to reflection. The whole purpose of reflection is to find those blessings. Look, you might enter into a business or an employment situation to earn money, but you get so much more out of that. And the reason I suggest reflection is because it allows you to find your blessings. The best way to do that is write it down. We talked about daily, we talked about weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing it, you should write it down. Whether it's the end of the day, the end of the week, you should look at the week and see not just the challenges you had and the successes you had, but the blessings that you had, the things you did not anticipate that make your life or the lives of somebody else better. That is the true purpose of reflection and what God wants in all of our lives, because it's those blessings that lead to true fulfillment. All right. That's enough of all of that. If you have any questions about that, you disagree with me, agree with me, you want to deep dive into it, reach out to me. I'll have a cup of coffee, maybe lunch with you. And, of course, we'll have to eat someplace healthy because I am in the wellness challenge. And I'd love to do that. And maybe we'll build a relationship. Maybe we'll save the world. I don't know. Somebody who is saving the world, or at least our little corner of it, is Wendy Breeden, District 3 County Commissioner. I'm so glad to have her. We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Wendy, and we're going to hear about her background, some of the things she's done and is still doing in the community, and some of what she intends to focus in if she gets reelected. So we'll see you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Check out these gourmet deals from Bergeron Claremont, like our daily deals. Milkshake specials. Kids eat free. That's right, kids 10 and under eat free every Monday with purchase of an adult combo. Choose from delicious protein combos like beef, chicken, lamb, fish, veggie, and even the Impossible Burger. Milkshakes are buy one, get one free Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. Stop into Bergeron Claremont today to take advantage of our daily deals, like the Monday Crispy Chicken Combo, the Tuesday Falafel Combo, the Wednesday Angus Beef Combo, and the Thursday Spanish Beef Combo. Gourmet deals from Bergeron Claremont, located just off Highway 27 and the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza. Bergeron, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Like I said, we are joined by Wendy Breeden. Wendy, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. You've joined a small club now. You are a friend of the show.
Great.
This is Wendy Breeden. She is the District 3 County Commissioner for Lake County. Lake County Commissioner for District 3. Let me say it right. She sits on the. She is the liaison for the Children's Advisory Council. She works on the Altar Guild at St. James Episcopal Church, her home church, and she was the director or manager back and forth for the Lake County Library System, and in part of that, at one point that started to encompass the trails and the parks and everything.
Right.
So you have a storied history
I do.
in Lake County. Wendy, tell us a little bit about you. How did you get to Lake County?
All right. Well, I was born in Lake County, actually. So
It's a good way to get here.
Yes, exactly. I was born and raised in Leesburg. Went to Leesburg High School. Graduated. Went to Florida State. So, since you mentioned athletics, I know it's not the majority, but I'm a Florida State fan. I was director of the Winter Park Library. Actually, I got my bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising, and then went on to get my master's degree in library science. Worked at the Winter Park Library as director for 9 years.
I want to hear about this. You get this fashion merchandising,
right?
From FSU,
Yes.
right? And then you come back to Lake County.
Well, I went to, I was too much of a small town girl to go to New York, which is what I should have done.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Right, yes. But after becoming pretty much a glorified sales clerk, I decided I wasn't getting anywhere in fashion merchandising. Plus, I looked like a little kid, so nobody wanted to promote me then. So I went into library science. My mother had been a librarian, so I decided I'd
So
follow
you got your
the
master's
tradition.
degree,
Yes.
and you come back. You're now a favored daughter, of the area, and you worked many years in that field.
Yes.
You must have seen. I was actually amazed in our pre-interview. You said that several of the Lake County libraries are here.
Yes.
I didn't realize we had so many county libraries
Yes,
here.
and actually, I was director at the time. Oh, I kind of helped, of course, with the commissioners, and a whole community helped build the Lake County Library System. And as part of that, we added the Kagan's Crossing Library, the Cooper Memorial Library at the college, and the Marion Basinger Memorial Library in
I am
Groveland.
fairly sure that the Cooper Memorial Library was a, I don't want to use the word coup, but what was one of your shining star successes, because that's a gorgeous
Yes.
facility up there, and a great place. I know that every now and then if I need some real quiet time, I find a spot up there. It's great. There's plenty of
Yes.
place to work. They have great Wi-Fi.
I'm very proud of that project, and it's a great partnership with the community college, and that's kind
So is
of
that
a
how
rare.
you became a county commissioner? Was your work with them? I mean, how did that come about?
Well, after the library strictly part of it, I became director of public resources, which included libraries, parks, extension services, and the fairgrounds. But probably the last 4 to 8 years I was there, I didn't really like the way the county was going. And so as I reached retirement age, I decided that I would like to try to make some changes. So I retired on a Friday and picked up my papers on a Monday to run for county commissioner.
That's cool. I love
Yeah.
that idea.
So-
that's a perfect example too. I think we have so many retirees in our community, and I think that people miss the idea that, because they get so focused on retirement living, that there's still an awful lot of life and
Absolutely.
value. I tell young guys all the time, I tell guys my age, I'm not winding down. I've made all my big mistakes, all my life-killing, life-changing events. That's
we
happened.
never quit making mistakes, unfortunately.
I didn't say
so-
I wasn't going to make mistakes. I said I wasn't going to make the big ones.
Right.
That stuff that gets the police lights behind
Yes.
you. That stuff isn't going to happen anymore. And I've raised my kids, so you're a perfect example of that. Let me ask you, what are you the most proud of as a county commissioner?
Oh, gee. As a county commissioner, well, I think
Because you were elected in 2016.
16,
right?
yes. I think I did what I said. I brought civility and respect back to the county commission, and we treat
It needed
treat
it.
our constituents with respect, and And I think our customer service is better. I think we make better decisions as a county commission because we know how to work together, even though we don't always agree, but we respect each other's opinions. So it seems like a small thing, but I think we've been able to accomplish a lot in 3.5 years because of the way we work together.
What do you see, not just from your time in office, but moving forward, what do you see as the county's greatest challenge?
Oh, I don't think there's one greatest challenge.
Well, give us your top two.
Yeah.
How about that, 2 or 3?
Transportation and really the condition of our roads. We've still got to find ways to fix those, and we have made some progress. But also we're starting to look at water quality. We've barely touched that. We still need to look at regulations. We've made some changes. We've kept taxes low, reduced them a little bit. We're now our millage rate is the least amount, our total millage rate of all the surrounding counties for the first time.
Do you know, and
So-
that's actually a great point, because when I first got into real estate, I was working up in the Villages area, Lady Lake and Fruitland Park in that area. And, you are so close to the line to Sumter
Right.
and Marion counties up in that corner that a lot of people used to buy a house because across the line in Sumter was cheaper, than
Yes.
being in Lake.
Yes.
And so that's a good thing, because people, unless you're in the industry, I don't think people understand how important that can be to people coming in, especially because we deal so much with retirees.
Exactly.
Their income isn't increasing, a great many of them, so they got to figure out how to live on what they got.
Right. And the other small thing we did for businesses, since you're a businessman, is we just voted last month to sunset the business tax receipt for businesses.
We had David Jordan on talking about
Right.
that, and that was actually really appreciated you guys working with him. It's really funny. I was actually fascinated by the concept that he gets to see a lot of these laws that are no longer pertinent.
Right.
And so they become antiquated. And I do think that the commission and the county in general is very good at being open to those suggestions, not just taking money because it's there to
Right.
take. And part of that comes of that impact is impact fees.
Yes.
We hear a lot about that. I'm in the real estate industry, and that can be a hindrance to not just developers but business people.
Absolutely. And we did get to reduce the school impact fees slightly after a new study. So,
do you see any reduction in that coming down the road? Because I know that developers and business people that work in my field, that's the thing that they're the most concerned about. And one of the big, I deal
Right.
with Steve Smith a lot.
Yes.
You must know Steve.
I do.
And great heart. And he's absolutely right about workforce housing. We talk on this show a lot about the Sandowski Housing Fund. I don't know why.
Sadowski. Right.
Sadowski Housing Fund. I don't know why they can't understand the housing portion of that fund.
Well, I don't either, because they talk about affordable housing and workforce housing, but then they
Right.
take the funding away.
I mean,
but
2019 we were supposed to get 500 million.
right,
No, excuse me.
Oh, we would've-
Lake County was
would have get about 4
was supposed to
million.
get 4 million,
Right.
and they got 500,000 out of a $500 million fund for the entire state.
Yes.
That's
So
I
we
mean,
could
that's-
do so much more.
Right.
But we are doing a multifamily housing study. We're also studying impact fees for tiny homes to see if we can get some waivers.
See, that's
for
genius
those.
idea right
So,
there. Is
right.
I think that that's whenever I look into this subject, talk to anybody about this subject, the thing that I appreciate is the workforce housing. It's not affordable, typical Section 8. We're talking
Right.
about people who have a job.
Yes.
Who are trying to live here where they work. And that's it's nice that we have a lot of executives and people that work in the parks and down into Orlando, but that's not the way to keep our community thriving. We have to have the lower end jobs be able to be afforded for housing.
Exactly.
I want to switch on you a little. You and I
Okay.
talked about this a little bit. There is a perception, and I asked Kirby this question.
Okay.
there is and on air, I want to give an apology to Kirby. I made a mistake in correcting him about where his district covers. Joe was wrong. Kirby was right. I just wanted to say it on air. And what I asked him about was the perception of how Southlake County seems to get ignored. And it may not be true as far as the county commission, but many businesses and organizations book everything up in the northern or the western part of the county. How do you propose to change that perception?
Well,
Is there anything you can do?
There are some things. Well, first, I don't know where to start. First, we have a physical boundary in Lake County, which doesn't help. We have the chain of lakes,
Yeah.
Griffin, Harris.
Yeah, cuts us
so
right
you
across.
can't come straight down through. You have to go around lakes. So it's not a straight shot. But, you know, even though I represent in my district Leesburg, Tavares, Asatula, Yalaha, you know, it's a countywide vote.
Yeah.
I have a long history in South Lake County. I try to get down here as much as I can. And let's face it, you guys are wonderful. But just on the flip side, you know, I have people in, we're working on regional park down here, and we're operating the Mineola Athletic Complex. And I have my constituents saying, well, we don't have a regional or community park in Leesburg or Tavares. So,
See, I would have answers for that
Right.
because, you know, I had a definite opinion when Leesburg destroyed their only public pool that administered to the lowest sector of community, and at a meeting actually had a city commissioner say, well, they can use their community pool, and I lost my mind.
that's all right.
Of course, my wife was pulling on me, so I kept my mouth shut.
So
you
I
know?
have a picture of me taking swimming lessons
Yeah, exactly.
at that pool.
Exactly.
So,
and it was a good thing. But so my answer to that would be, you know, we have the population.
well, and they do too. And they have traffic problems. You have traffic problems. But so I think, you know, you're right about the events happening more in North Lake County than in South Lake County. And with businesses doing those events, I don't really have much influence
Right.
in that.
Well, that's why I
But,
asked, how do you change the
Yeah.
perception?
that
Is there something you and the commission
Well,
can do?
I think maybe we need to get more information down here when we do good things in South Lake Park, like the $6 million we donated for Lake Hiawatha Park, and you have more county trails down here than anywhere else in the county, and we've, you know, we spend probably close to $1 million on libraries every year down here, and we have 3 tiny ones in North Lake County. We helped build the rowing facility and the boat dock and Victory Point, and so
Well, again,
you
it's
know,
not that you're not doing those things, but I know
But
I
that
lived
yeah.
almost 20 years
Yeah.
in Leesburg Fruitland
Right.
Park, and I had no idea Cooper Memorial was even there. I had no idea that there was a free beach on a lake. I'd been driving an hour and a half to the ocean when I could have driven 30 minutes to Claremont.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's that physical boundary that's probably the hardest thing, because you know, maybe things at the Mission Inn people come to, but you know, people from North Lake don't come down here enough to events, and people from
But even
South
the Mission
Lake.
Inn, it's so far off
Right.
of a main road that it's
That's
hard to
true.
say. You know, I mean, I worked for the Mission Inn for a while,
Yeah.
and you know, the shame is they have some great facilities out there. There should be they should be backed up 3 years, but
Right.
they're not because they're so far
Yeah.
off the beaten path.
But I think as we work in partnership on more things, if we can work together like the housing initiative, I think we're seeing a good mix of people from North Lake and South Lake. You know, I think we're getting more outposts down here for some of our constitutional officers.
Makes
offices.
Look, I don't want to
I'm
interrupt.
probably
We're
not-
going to break
yeah.
for a commercial break. When we get back, We're going to continue to talk about all things Lake County, and we're going to hear a little bit more from Wendy Breeden about what she hopes to do in the future, cover some areas like fiscal responsibility, and see what life has in store for Lake County. We'll talk to you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Life is better when you're smiling. At Modern Orthodontics, Dr. Alan Wong has changed thousands of lives, helping patients achieve the modern smile with braces and clear aligners. Utilizing digital scanning technology, Modern Orthodontics creates in-office 3D models for clearly modern aligners. Modern Orthodontics is conveniently located in Claremont, Apopka, and Bushnell. Call or text us to schedule your free exam and create your modern smile today.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. Soil to Oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Claremont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease at 50west.com.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. We are still here with Wendy Breeden, Lake County Commissioner for District 3. She will be running for office this year. She's the incumbent, hopefully get a re-election. I wanted to ask you, Wendy, kind of get off the subject we were on. I think we've beaten that one to death, okay?
Yeah.
What have you learned? What's your greatest lesson from being a commissioner? What do you think you've learned the most?
Well, it's very rewarding, even though it's difficult at times. But I think as long as you try to do what you believe in your heart is the best thing for Lake County as a whole, then you can sleep at night. I truly believe that treating everyone respectfully, I think you can get a lot more accomplished. At least that's the way how I operate. I know others have success operating other ways, but I think it works for the county commission. And you can't please everyone. So sometimes I jokingly say, well, every Tuesday is an opportunity to lose more votes.
I've been to some of those meetings.
Yes.
I can see what you're saying.
But
it's easy to get your feelings hurt when you're in the audience.
Well, actually, I learned to have a thick skin actually on the other side.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So,
I'll bet.
But that's all right. And NIMBYism is alive and well in Lake County.
Yes, it is.
And
yes, it is.
It's hard for people who move here to see growth around them. Okay, so I was here in 1950. I've seen some growth And if we're going to be a viable community, we have to have growth. We can't be stagnant.
Do you know, it's I'm going to use this example from when I was in real estate in and around the villages.
Yeah.
And, of course, my business is centered here in Claremont
Right.
now, just all over South Lake County. And I go all over a lot of other places. But people used to tell me, well, the villages is growing too much. I don't like it, I said, well, no, but you like the fact that, your mobile home is no longer worth $22,000. You like the fact that your mobile home is now worth $122,000 without the growth that doesn't happen.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't just increase because, time passes, right? So there are advantages and disadvantages.
Yes. I
to
remember
that growth.
all the pasture land.
Yeah.
Driving up to Ocala, it was beautiful. Yes, I miss that beauty. But let's face it, when the villages builds, they do it right.
Yep.
And it's also attractive, and they
it's
do a great job.
It's easy to complain. It's hard to find the blessing,
Yes.
And I have to say that, I raised children in this area, and whenever my kids said they want to go to the bowling alley in the villages, I knew I could trust them.
Right.
And
True.
there's nothing wrong with the bowling alley in Leesburg at the time. Of course, we're talking 20 years ago, but that meant Dad was going with them. You needed a chaperone. Who are you going to be there with? I don't know if I like that time frame. What kind of influences are there going to
Yes.
be?
And
It was the same way with movies, right?
And as much as the pastures, I miss the smell of orange blossoms in the spring.
I have a customer, and several people, some associated right with
Right.
the station, who can remember that.
But Claremont wouldn't be what it is today if that
I
tragedy
had
hasn't
somebody
happened.
telling me she was a sweetheart. She was a somewhat older lady, and she was.
Hey, watch what you're saying.
I said
No,
somewhat
okay.
older. I mean, we're talking Lake County older, late 80s.
All right, all
And
right.
she said that when she was a teenager in Lake County, that in high school they would complain because that smell was almost sticky sweet.
Oh, I
She
never
said
got tired
sometimes
of
it was so thick she said now she realizes now that they don't have it ever,
Right.
that she misses it. So I wanted to ask you, you and I talked briefly about fiscal responsibility
Yes.
earlier. Something very, very important. I mean, because we don't have a pile of money we get more than we did 10
Right.
years ago, but we don't have a pile of money to spend. And again, spending it wisely to benefit the whole county.
Right, and I want to point out, back before the Great Recession started, budgets were pretty fat
Yeah.
in Lake County. Even 12 years later, we now spend $30 million less on the county departments than we did 12 years ago. That's so we're still at a 39% decrease. So, when people want to say there's a lot of fat in government, there's not a lot of fat in government. And I think
At least here.
at least here. Yeah, at least here. And I think over the last 3 years, our new county manager and the commission, but, really the county manager, he has really flattened the organization, made a lot of efficiencies. And at the same time, we've had a lot of growth in taxes, but not the tax rate. But even
Yeah, that growth is from new people coming in,
right.
properties now becoming
Yes.
paying taxes because there's businesses or houses on that property.
And because of that, even though the central county government is less, we've been able to help the sheriff get him raises for his deputies, and we gave him funding
Which were long overdue,
Yes,
yep.
yes, and we gave him funding this last year for 24 new deputies, and the supervisor of election, Alan Hayes. As much as I loved Imogene Stegall, I think they needed a lot of updating in security and
yeah,
the
we love Alan.
website.
Alan's
Yes.
coming on the show. I think he's on next week.
Yes.
And that he has streamlined that process quite a bit. So.
He has, and has done a lot of modernization, and has a new central office which helps him operate more. And
I
so
think that's part of the advantage of
Yeah.
his experience as a senator, you know,
Yes.
is to see what some of the needs are, because he's dealt not only with that side of that, like you said, on that side of the desk,
Right.
but he's also gets to see it from the
and I think
constituent's
that's a benefit.
perspective.
And our other constitutional offices, you know, they provide great customer service, both in-house and through technology. And so we're helping them to do that because we fund their
So you're running for really.
operations.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about modernization for a second, and I want to take it just. Modernization usually represents the future. You're running for office. What are you hoping to accomplish, and why do you think that somebody should vote for you? Is it just because you're currently there? What do you think? What can you tell a voter that says, "Well, why should I vote for Wendy?" What do you want to do with the next 4 years
Okay.
if you get elected?
Well, I think every time you have a change on the board, it slows down. Right now, we have good working relationships. We're kind of on a roll. We're getting a lot of things accomplished, and I think we want to continue that. You know, simplifying our regulations is very important. Finding an answer to homelessness. We're never going to solve homelessness,
Right.
but we're about ready to start on a pilot project that will help house some people. You know, we have so far to go on water quality and, you know, the pull between septic tanks and sewer systems.
And fitting in with the state and federal guidelines, which are coming down on a lot of
Right.
that. Particularly, we deal with that in real estate a lot. That the state regulations
Yes.
that come down on guidelines on changes of septic tanks, because so many of them
Right.
are older and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
So
you basically beat the learning curve, right?
yeah.
You know what you're doing now.
I know what
you
I'm doing.
So
And actually, I came in pretty quickly because I knew the other side. So I knew what we were. I
you had
already
worked-
knew what we were
well,
doing.
and you'd worked
so-
with the commission
Yes.
for a long time.
And
as well.
I am kind of self-term limiting myself. I said I'd serve 2 terms. This would be my second term. So I would like to have that opportunity.
But I might be having a heart attack. A bold politician that
Yes.
right on television
Yes.
said, "I'm going to limit myself."
That's right.
To
One
Jay
more
shaking his
term.
head. I shouldn't have done that. People are freaking out. Oh, okay. I'm like Red Fox. This is the big one.
Yeah.
But
So-
you're limiting yourself to 2. Do you believe
Yes.
in term limits then?
I believe in term limits. I think probably 12 to 16 years is okay, but for me, 8 is good.
Let me ask you how. Let's get back to what you intend to do with the next 4 years. We had talked about fiscal responsibility
Right.
was important to you.
Yes.
Let's focus on that for a
Okay.
second.
I think barring any hurricanes, you know, because Irma stopped,
that's right,
stopped
yeah.
us in our tracks the first time, we should be able to continue to reduce the millage rate. I think I'd like for us to look at reducing permitting fees and the cost of people doing business, trying to construct
That makes
homes.
so much sense. If you want to, you know, and I know you're a conservative,
Right.
and I tend to come from that approach personally, is that if you really want to, encourage an activity, you make it easier and less expensive. If you want to discourage an activity, you make it hard and expensive. You know,
So I think we've kind of just scratched the surface
Right.
there, and we need to find conservative ways to take care of our roads. I don't think I mentioned that we just recently decided to leverage $10 million of our penny sales tax to resurface 90 miles of roads in the next 3 to 4 years. So that's one way we could, you know.
And I think if you're a Lake County resident, you
Right.
can't deny having been on a portion that was just finished and how nice that is. And
Oh,
then
yes.
coming on to the portion that's 20 years old and you think, you know, something's wrong
Right.
with your car.
And we need to be creative and find more ways to improve our roads too. So
You know, we're running out of time here.
Right.
We only have a few minutes. What's next? What's next for Wendy Breeden and Lake County?
I just talk around things all the time, don't I? And so what's next for me? I'm kind of a I'm more of a glass half full type of person. I try to be positive. Of course, I'm running on the campaign trail, and I just, want to keep making Lake County better. Economic development is picking up. I'd like to get more Kroger avocados coming to our area.
That's a big one, and that kind of a thing,
protecting our natural resources.
I don't think people understand how something like a Kroger avocado really affects the thing. Is yes, they're bringing, I think it's 400 jobs.
Right. Good paying jobs.
Good paying jobs.
Right.
I think 300 of them are going to be high tech jobs. And what people don't realize is for every one of those we get, it creates 7 other jobs. So.
And we need to work on workforce housing. They need places to live. So.
I wanted to ask you, because you're a commissioner and you're running for office, do you ever get, we hear about the influences and special interests, obviously, for federal guys because they contain so much power. Do you see that at all? Or feel
you feel the pressures. You just have to keep your focus on what's best for the county, and that's not always easy. I voted against something that a very good friend of mine was supporting recently, and that still weighs on me. But you just have to focus on doing what you think is the right thing.
You mean, Wendy, nobody's flying you to the Bahamas on a junket
no,
to influence your
against
vote?
The law, actually.
You're not getting big free lunches?
No free lunches, except for my brother.
Except for your brother?
Yeah.
His family gets a special pass.
Yes, family gets to give me gifts. So.
I think we have your Facebook page up here. I want to encourage people they can go to and find out a little bit about you. You do, and I do know you have a website coming up, Wendy 2020.
Yes, Wendy 2020. It's not up.
Not quite up yet. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Is this is your 2020 Facebook page though?
That is, and as you guys pointed out, I need to change the handle. So I'm going to get my consultant right on that.
Is this a good way for people to get to know who you are?
Through that, if they just want to get to know me personally, my Facebook page is Wendy Breeden. So. Do
you have any events coming up?
Just had a fundraiser on Tuesday. I'm going to, what is it? An event tonight for the Trout Lake Nature Center. That's going to be a lot of fun.
This is you.
Yeah, see, there I am.
Family and friends there.
Yes, that's at the Trout Lake Nature Center.
As crazy as it sounds, I try to creep on people's Facebook whenever I need to get to know them.
Okay.
If I'm going into an appointment with them, you're at an event there with Tim.
Yes, that was at George Fest. We were busy getting petition cards signed for our campaign. So
how many cards do you have to get signed?
About 2,400 good ones.
How close are you?
I'm about halfway. Actually, I'm about 60% there.
Do you know, a lot of people don't understand, I think, that it's not like it is in a lot of places where you just go in and sign and pay your fee.
No.
Here in Lake County, if you're going to get on the ticket for county commission, you need to get 2,400 voters.
To avoid paying the fee.
Yes,
and as a fiscal conservative,
you have to avoid paying
a fee. Pay that fee.
It's still a good tell for, for letting people know and telling, it's as a voter, it's much more confident to know that you got 2,400 people, to sign a card.
And for a more introverted person, it makes you get out there and meet people.
I told you in good hands. Nobody would know from this interview that you're introverted.
I know. So that's the positive part about it. You get out there and meet your constituents and talk to people. So
I think I did want to say before we finish up the interview that one of the things I have appreciated about Wendy is that while the bulk of her work is not here in South Lake, she has made a great effort. I have seen her at several events, not just chamber events, but several things representing good stuff that the commission has had a part of down here in South Lake. That's not always true of every commissioner. And I really wanted want to say to the people and to you, I personally, as a resident of this area, appreciate that.
Thank you, Joe.
That's something that really lets you know the heart of a politician is when their actions precede their desires, not when they follow them. So,
and I hope I will continue to help build that bridge between North and South Lake County.
Well, I would like to see it, and I know we're doing our part.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're doing our part. So, I just want to say thank you for being a guest. You've been great. Look, if you know somebody who should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, and I'm probably going to tap Wendy since I know her to connect me with people I'm not connected with yet. I'm very, very open to suggestions. But if you know somebody who should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, you need to reach out to me. I know that Jay has the information up. If you are not branding your business here, I'm sorry, Jay, forgive me. I got to say, you're an idiot. If you are not branding your business here, which directly gets in front of your customers every single day, 24 hours a day, I don't know how to help you. I can only give you good advice. I can't force you to take it. This is the most affordable advertising you're going to find anywhere in the Orlando market, including taking out a personal ad in a newspaper. We're cheaper than a personal ad, for goodness sakes. Anyways, that's my soapbox and my shameless plug. I want to encourage you, as Wendy has done for years, using her greatness to serve her community and bring the greatness out of others. I want to encourage you that there is greatness inside you, and that you should be using that greatness to bring out the greatness in somebody else. Touch a life and change the world. You may never actually see the change, but it will change nonetheless. This has been Wendy Breeden, District 3 Lake County Commissioner, and Joe Carlisle on Joe Knows South Lake. I want to thank you for joining us. I will see you Monday, and I truly do love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: